زادك الأيام فتى.
النية شرط لسائر العمل بها الصلاح والفساد للعمل. The author now is going to into النية شرط لسائر العمل بها الصلاح والفساد للعمل. The author is going into النية. Niyyah, what is meant by it is al-qasd, intention. Niyyah means al-qasd, intention. For example, the Arabs, they say nawa kada. So and so has intended this. Nawa means what? Nawa means what? Qasadahu, he intended it. That's how it comes in Lisan al-Arab. Nawa shay qasadahu wa'taqadah is when you intend something and when you believe something. That is linguistically what it means. Technically, it means al-azmu ala al-fi'li. That's what they say technically. Technically, what they say is to intend an action. فَمَنْ عَزَمَ عَلَى فِعْلٍ. Anyone who intends an action. From any actions, it's said that قِيلَ أَنَّهُ قَدْ نَوَاهُ. They say that this person has intended it. But some scholars said that the technical definition of the word, some of them, they said the technical definition of the word النية means what? Niyyah means بأنها قصد التقرب إلى الله عز وجل. It's to intend through your intention to get closer to Allah. That's what intention means. So they said it means to want to get closer to Allah by something. That's what's meant by intention, they said. It's when you want to get closer to Allah by doing something, it's called an intention. And that definition لا يصح, is incorrect. Why? Because the intention can occur from an angle, or it can occur from a person without wanting to get closer to Allah, and that's still called an intention. It's still called a intention. A person can do something for a bad intention, because the niyyah is what? Niyyah sahiha, a correct intention. And there's also a niyyah which is niyyatun batila, niyyatun fasida, a bad intention, which is a person is doing something to get closer to who? Other than Allah. And that's where shirk comes into place. Na'am. So saying that is incorrect. So the author said, Ash-niyatu shartun. We explained what niyyah meant linguistically and technically. You see, and the best definition for it is al-azmu ala al-fi'li, faman azama ala fi'lin min al-af'ali qila wa qad nawah. That's the best definition. That's the best definition. Then the author says, an-niyatu shartun. Shart means what? Shart linguistically means alamatun lazima. Shart means when a sign that is consistent, or that's always there. That's called shart. It's a sign which is lazim. Doesn't move, it doesn't, that's lazim. Are you with me? That's what it means linguistically. Technically, it means as follows. It means ما يلزم من عدمه عدم الحكم. It means ولا يلزم من وجوده وجود الحكم ولا عدم لذاته. What does this mean? It means its absence, the absence of this condition necessitates the absence of the ruling. The absence of the condition necessitates the absence of the ruling. For example, if a person doesn't do wudu, the salah's acceptance, the ruling of acceptance is not present because of the absence of the condition, which is the wudu. Also, وَلَا يَلْزَمُ وُجُودُ وُجُودُ الْحُكْمِ. And it doesn't mean just because the condition is present that the ruling is also going to be present. It doesn't mean that. Just because you have wudu doesn't mean you pray the salah. Doesn't mean automatically that your salah is what? You've prayed it already. Na'am. So as I said right now, the tahara is what? Purification is a shart, it's a condition. For what? For the salah. If a person does not pray with tahara, his salah is not correct. لا يصح صلاته. Salat is batil. Are you with me? But it doesn't mean just because you have tahara that the salah is already automatically present. It doesn't mean that. Just because you have tahara, automatic salah is there. No, it doesn't mean that. Or it doesn't mean that the salah is absent. So that's the definition of what condition means. The condition, brothers, is divided into two types. Shart is two types. Condition in Arabic, or according to the fuqaha, it's usuliyin, it's two types. The first one is called shartu sihha, and the second one is called shartu wujub. And it's important that we learn this. Shartu sihha and shartu wujub. Shartu siha is like tahara, as I just told you. Shartu siha means it's condition of acceptance. Condition of acceptance. Meaning, this action will not be accepted from you unless this condition is met. So for the acceptance of this action, it is connected to the condition being met, or the condition being present. The acceptance of this action is connected to the presence of the condition. This is called what? Shartu siha. It's called what? Shartu siha. Shartu siha means what? The condition of acceptance or authenticity. Now, the second is called shartu wujub, the condition of obligation. And what does that mean? It means ability for Hajj. Like for example, ability of Hajj is the ability of Hajj. Meaning, Hajj is only a condition on you, and it becomes only obligatory on you when you're able to meet the condition of what? Of istita'a, ability. When you can come with that condition. Because is it a condition? It's a condition. But shartu wujub means, even that I don't have the ability, if I burden myself and I go Hajj, will my Hajj be accepted? It will be accepted. Does that make sense? Whereas if I prayed the salah without tahara, will it be accepted? Nope, because it's shartu siha. Whereas the istita'a, the ability, is a what? Is shartu wujub. Meaning, it's a condition for it to be obligatory on you. But if you do it with your own will, and you burden yourself, and you go Hajj, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala will accept it from you. But it wasn't obligatory on you. You didn't have to go. Now the question that arises is that the author now said, an-niyyatu shartun. The intention is a shart. Which shart does he mean? Is it shartu wujub? And does it mean shartu siha? Which of the two does he mean? First of all, it can't be both, because the qa'idah is an-naqidani la yajtami'an. Two opposites they can't be both present. They're both opposites to each other. That can't work. One without it won't work, and one without it works. Or one without it's not accepted, and one without it, it's accepted. So they can't be both. They can't both be what he means. One. Okay? And also he can't mean one and leave the other. Are you with me? It can't. Because as we're going to take later, there are intentions of some matters which are not a sahah. Like for example what? Qada'ud deen, giving back debt. It's not a condition for you to have intention for your debt to be, for you to pay back that debt, to give back that money that you took from the person. That is not a condition which your giving back will be conditioned for its acceptance for you to have intention for it. If you give it without intention, it will be what? It'll be accepted. It'll be accepted. So what does the author mean? He explains it in the next part of the shatr. The next shatr. Rahimahullah, he said, بِهَا الصَّلَاحُ وَالْفَسَادُ لِلْعَمَلِ. And it seems like the author is diverting towards the view that the shart of niyyah is shartu siha. That's the view he seems to be taking. And that can't be correct. Because as I just proved right now, that a person can pay debt without even having intention. And so if we take his view, what will it mean? That the person who gives back debt that he's taken from others, he's giving back will not be accepted from him in the eyes of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, unless he has intention for it. And that's not the case. The same way is if a person gives, if he financially looks after his family and his relatives by financially supporting them, if he does it without any intention, that it won't be accepted from him. It won't be accepted from him. You see, and that is not correct. This action is accepted from him. What do you mean what is accepted from him? It's accepted from him because he's not disconnected the ties of kinship. Allah won't say subhanahu wa ta'ala that you starved your family and I didn't consider you giving that money to your family anything whatsoever. It will be accepted from him. Na'am. So, based on that, we say that what the Shaykh said, it requires another look. Another group of scholars, they said, the best way to say it is, La thawaba, there is no reward except with intentions. So some scholars, they said that the best way to talk about this issue is what? That they say that there is no reward except with intention. Some say that. And the majority of the people who have that, or who title it like that, or who give it that name, or that wordings, are the Hanafis. The Hanafis, they say, لا ثواب إلا بنية. There is no reward except with an intention. That's according to who? Then Hanafis. That's the way they would word it. Why? Because they would consider correct a lot of actions without intention. A lot. For them, there are a lot of actions that don't require intentions. But for you to be rewarded for that action, they say you have to come with intention for the reward to come. But the action will be accepted from you. For example, according to the Hanafis, the wudu doesn't require intention. The wudu doesn't require intention. They say that if you want to get rewarded for the wudu that you're doing, then you need intention. As for the wudu having to come with intention for it to be accepted, they said they don't believe that. For the same way as ghusl. They believe a ghusl doesn't also require from a person intention. You see, and the jumhur, the majority of the scholars are of what? Ala khilafi dhalika, they oppose that. They condition what? For the acceptance of the wudu and the ghusl, they say that for it to be, they say shartu siha. They say it's what? Shartu siha. For the wudu and for the ghusl, intention is shartu siha. It has to be what? It has to be met. Na'am. Other scholars, they said, okay, the best wording to use for this qa'idah is al-umuru bimaqasidiha. Al-umuru bimaqasidiha. And when we use that wording, this brings us to, before I explain this point, it brings us back to the issue of what? It brings us back to an issue which is, and I mentioned before, that the intention, I mentioned that the Qawaa'id Al-Fiqhiyyah are divided into two. Qawaa'id which are muttafaqun alaihi, which are unanimously agreed upon according to the fuqaha. And they're called Qawaa'id Al-Kubra. Qawaa'id Al-Khamsat Al-Kubra. The 5 Qawaa'id. Al-Umuru bimaqasidiha is the first one. The second one is Al-Yaqinu la yazulu bil-shak. Al-Yaqinu la yazulu bil-shak. The third one is Al-Dararu Yuzal. The fourth one is Al-Mashaqqatu Tajlibu Taysir. And the fifth one is Al-Adatu Muhakkama. And inshallah ta'ala we're going to see all 5 of them in this book. Now we're taking the first one of the 5, which is Al-Umuru bimaqasidiha. So some of the scholars, they say, they took that view which is Al-Umuru bimaqasidiha. They said that that's the best wording to use. Sheikh AbdulRahman Nasir said, what did he use? النية شرط لسائر العمل بها الصلاح والفساد للعمل. And we brought an i'tirad. We also mentioned what wrong meaning it has. We also brought the second group of people who said, no, it's better to say لا ثواب إلا بنية, that there is no reward except with an intention, and which we said that this was the view of the Ahnaf, and it's also it's weak. It goes against the Jumhur and what they said. The third way of wording it is the view that said al-umuru bimaqasidiha. They use that wording. And what does it mean, al-umuru bimaqasidiha? They said matters are what is intended from it. Al-umuru, they said al-umur means matters. Bimaqasidiha, matters are its intentions. That better wording. Matters are its intentions. That's what they said. The reason why they use the word al-umur. Based on the word al-umur, what will enter it? Aqwal, af'al, a'malul qulub. Speeches will enter it. Actions will enter it. And actions of the heart will enter it. Are you with me? And they also said what? Bimaqasidiha are its intentions. Are its intentions. And they didn't say binniyat. They didn't say al-umuru binniyat. They said al-umuru bimaqasidiha. The reason why they said al-maqasid, so it can be more, the reason why they didn't choose the word an-niyat, so the word maqasid can be what? More of a comprehensive. So it can be more shamil, more comprehensive. But there are shortcomings in this definition. Also that wordings, al-umuru bimaqasidiha, there is a malhudat. It's incorrect of the usage of the word al-umuru bimaqasidiha. The first waqfa or the first malhuda is that the word al-umuru bimaqasidiha, that ha is a dhamir, it's a pronoun. And it's mudafun ila al-umur, it is ascribed back to the word al-umur. Al-umuru bimaqasidiha is ascribed back to what? The umur. And reality is, al-umuru laysa laha maqsad. A umur, a matter, cannot have an intention. It can't have any intention. How can a matter have intention? The one who has an intention is the what? The Shari'ah, the legislator, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the mukallaf, the one that's burdened, which is the creation. Those are the only two who can have intentions. As for matters to have it, is incorrect. Are you with me? The second one is that, the second i'tirad, the second malhuda that's in there is, the word is ambiguous. The word is mujmal. Al-umuru bimaqasidiha is very ambiguous. It's ambiguous and it's unclear. Why? Because what will fall under it is, does it mean the maqasid, the existence of the maqsad? Does it mean the acceptance of the maqsad? Does it mean its completeness? Does it mean its establishment? What does it mean? وجودها أو صحتها أو اعتبارها أو كمالها أو حصولها. What does it mean? Which of those does it mean? So it's mujmal. And there's a qa'idah which you all need to remember, which is, because it's very ambiguous, it's mujmal, and many of those can fall under it. Wujud can fall under it, صحة can fall under it, اعتبار can fall under it, kamal can fall under it, حصول can fall under it. All of those can fall under it. The qa'idah is what? المشترك هل يحمل على جميع معانيه أو لا? That if something, all of those things fall under it, do we take it for all of its meanings, or do we put it on some of its meanings? The correct view is what? أن المشترك يحمل على جميع معانيه. If something is mushtarak, many things fall under it, it's carried and it's placed on all of its meanings. All of its meanings. As for the word wujud, we can take that out. We can take the word wujud out, but we can't take siha out, we can't take i'tibar out, kamal out, or husul. All of those are fall under it. The reason why we can take wujud out is because there's no thing that can exist without intentions. So that's out. Na'am. Also, the other thing that goes against, the third point that goes against al-umur bi maqasidiha, that wording is the word al-umur. It also talks about dawat, things, objects, are referred to as what? Are referred to the dawat. Things are referred to as what? Umur as well. So, and we know that a thing, ahkam al-shar'iyya, a legislation or ruling cannot be connected to a thing. It can't be. Naam. And evidence for that a umur can be referred to as a thing is qawluhu ta'ala, the speech of Allah, وَمَا أَمْرُ فِرْعَوْنَ بِرَشِيدٍ. Allah said, وَمَا أَمْرُ. The plural of amr is what? Umur. وَمَا أَمْرُ فِرْعَوْنَ. The affairs of Fir'aun is not Rashid. So Fir'aun's affairs, which is the sha'n, the affairs of Fir'aun. The word وَمَا أَمْرُ here doesn't mean amru as a command, because the plural of command is what? Awamir. Amr here is sha'n. So the word amr it can mean talab and it can mean sha'n. And the jama' is what distinguishes between the two. One is awamir and one is umur. Umur means a sha'n, affairs. So here, can we say for example, that the wall is permissible? Can we say al-jidaru jaizun? Can we say the wall is permissible? Never ever. You can't say that. You can say the usage. So you connected the hukum to the af'al, the action. So you're going to have to say the buying of the wall is permissible. The selling of the wall is permissible. You see? The using of the wall is permissible. But you can't say that the wall is permissible or the wall is not permissible. But then a question may arise, which is Allah did connect some matters, some dawat, Allah did connect a ahkam to it. So what are you guys talking about? Then Allah says in the Qur'an, حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَيْتَةَ. Mayta is a that. It's a thing, a dead animal. So Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said He made it haram for you. We're not taking the view of the Hanaf in this issue, the Jumhur's view. The Jumhur says all of those that we mentioned, حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَيْتَةَ, حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمْ أُمَّهَاتُكُمْ, all of those are connected to what? Al-af'al, actions. So for example, حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْمَيْتَةَ means that the dead, the corpse are haram from you. In terms of what? In terms of eating, in terms of buying and selling, it's also haram from you. But is it haram for me to look at it? Then you see, it's not haram in and within itself, meaning the hukum is not connected to the that. What is the hukum connected to? The action. The hukum is connected to the action. As for حُرِّمَتْ عَلَيْكُمْ أُمَّهَاتُكُمْ, your mothers are made haram from you. Here is meant al-wat'u wal-aqd. You can't marry your mother, you can't have any intimacy with her. Na'am. So there's an action which is taqdeer fi'l munasab. There's an action which is correct. And this is the qawl of who? Qawl al-jumhur al-ulama. Good. So if that's the case, that you guys have rejected la thawaba illa bin niyatin, al-umuru bi maqasidiha, what is the best word to use? That which a Prophet used, al-a'malu bin niyat. That's better to use. The reason why it's better is, number one, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said it. And by us doing that, وَافَقْنَا لَفْظَ النَّبِي sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we go in hand with what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. And then without a doubt, us agreeing with the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his wordings is a matter which is what? It's matlub shar'ah. The Shari'ah wants that, and it requires that from us. Also, that is, secondly, is the thing that there can't be no i'tirab. No one can oppose it, because the Prophet said it, alayhi salatu wasalam, and its meaning is going to be correct. Now, some did question it like him. And they said that when you guys say al-a'malu bin niyat, then automatically speeches, they're not in it, and actions of the heart, leave it. You said actions, right? Speeches are not part of it. And also actions of the heart don't fall under it. So you guys are also deficient in by saying إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. You guys are incorrect. We'll say that to that, هَذَا فَهْمٌ خَاطِئ. That is a misunderstanding of the reality of what al-a'mal means. Rather, speeches fall under actions. They do. And the ayah in the Qur'an is Surah Al-An'am, ayah 112 indicates, as Allah said, شَيَاطِينَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ يُوحِي بَعْضُهُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ زُخْرُفَ الْقَوْلِ غُرُورًا. So the ayah says, الْقَوْلِ, underline the word قَوْلِ, غُرُورًا. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ مَا فَعَلُوهُ. Allah said الْقَوْلِ, and then He said وَمَا فَعَلُوهُ. So Allah referred to the qawl as a fi'l. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, He referred to what? The aqwal, that it enters af'al. And as for the actions of the heart falling under it, then it's apparent from the usage of the word, which you just said, al-a'malul qulub. You said that. Al-a'malul qulub, the actions of the heart fall under it because you've used the word a'mal. So that is the meaning that we need to take. Now that we have chosen that, what is the evidence for this qa'idah that the Shaykh rahimahullah brought? Going back to the book. The author said, النية شرط للسائر العمل بها الصلاح والفساد للعمل. What is the evidence to show this qa'idah, which is إنما الأعمال بالنيات? What's the evidence for it? There are evidences, extensive evidences. Surah Al-Isra, ayah 18 to ayah 19, Allah says, ayah 18 to ayah 19, Allah says, من كان يريد العاجلة عجلنا له فيها ما نشاء لمن نريد ثم جعلنا له جهنم يصلاها مذموما مدحورا ومن أراد الآخرة وسعى لها سعيها وهو مؤمن فأولئك كان سعيهم مشكورا. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, He said, anyone who wants the hastiness of this dunya, Allah says, عجلنا له فيها, we haste for him as much as we want, to whoever we want, and then we make the hellfire for that person in which he's going to stay in. Then Allah goes and says, وَمَنْ أَرَادَ الْآخِرَةِ, and anyone who wants the hereafter, and he strives to the hereafter, in a state of what? Iman. Allah says, فَأُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ سَعْيُهُمْ مَشْكُورًا, those people striving is praiseworthy. So Allah has told us that the people are two types in terms of their intentions. Those people who have high aspiration and they want the hereafter. And a group of people whose aspiration is very low and they want the dunya. And Allah also told us the consequences of those two intentions. So this ayah is an evidence upon that qa'idah which we mentioned. Also, Surah Ash-Shura, ayah 20, من كان يريد حرث الآخرة نزد له في حرثه. Surah Shura. Surah Hud, ayah 15 to ayah 16, Allah says, من كان يريد الحياة الدنيا وزينتها نوفى إليهم أعمالهم فيها وهم فيها لا يبخسون أولئك الذين ليس لهم في الآخرة إلا النار. Also Allah تبارك وتعالى said in Surah An-Nisa, ayah 114, ومن يفعل ذلك ابتغاء مرضات الله فسوف نؤتيه أجرا عظيما. Surah Al-Isra, ayah 114. So all of those ayat are what? في معنى القاعدة المذكورة. It's upon the meaning of the principle that we just mentioned. Also the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ also strengthened that. And Imam Ahmad narrated, rahimahullah, in his Musnad, even that though in the chain of narration of Imam Ahmad's one is Abdullah ibn Lahi'a, who is the narrator in the hadith, and as we're all aware of, Abdullah ibn Lahi'a, his narration is not considered authentic. He's not considered authentic because his book was burnt. لِاحْتِرَاقِ كُتُبِهِ, his books burnt. And he tried to narrate from the top of his head, and he was one who was ضَبْطُ الْكِتَابَةِ. He used to rely on his books. But the scholars, they give exceptions if he narrates from particular individuals like Abdullah ibn Muqri', Abdullah ibn Wahbin, Abdullah ibn Mubarak, and like that, then his narrations are accepted. And Qutaybah ibn Sa'id al-Baghlani, if he narrates from them, this is قبل احتراق كتبه, this is before his books were burnt. Anyways, this hadith, Ibn Adi in his Kamil, he made it Hassan. Also, Imam al-Haythami rahimahullah, he authenticated it. That the Prophet said, من غزا يريد عقالا فإنما له ما نوى. Anyone who fights and he wants a iqal. Iqal is what? It is the rope that is tied on the camel when you're tying it to the tree. Anyone who goes to a battle and he wants some booty from the battle, even if it's that small, pathetic, like who would want a rope? A little rope that's tied with a camel. Who would want it? Anyone who goes to a battle and he's going there so he can get money from the battle, then he will get what he intended. Meaning Allah will not reward you for that battle. The Prophet also said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he also said other narrations. Also the hadith, the long famous hadith, the hadith Sa'id Abi Sa'id al-Khudri, Sa'ad bin Abi Waqas, sorry. The hadith of Sa'ad bin Abi Waqas, which is in Sahihain, which is in what? As-Sahihain. That he said, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to him, إِنَّكَ لَن تُنْفِقْ نَفَقَةً تَبْتَغِي بِهَا وَجْهَ اللَّهِ إِلَّا أُجِرْتَ عَلَيْهَا حَتَّى مَا تَجْعَلُ فِي فَيِّ امْرَأَتِكَ. You do not give a. This is what this was when Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqas thought he was about to die, and he wanted to give out the belongings that he had, and he kept discussing with the Messenger alaihi salatu wasalam how much he should give. He kept saying a thuluth, 1/3. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said الثلث والثلث كثيرة. 1/3 is too much. Then the Prophet said this statement to him. He said, إِنَّكَ, for you to leave, أَن تَتْرُكَ وَرَثَتَكَ, for you to leave your family عَالَةً, hungry, poor, begging the people, it's better that you leave money for them. Don't give it all out. Give them. Are you with me? Then the Prophet said to him after that, إِنَّكَ لَن تُنْفِقْ نَفَقَةً. You do not give any charity, you don't give any money to what? نَفَقَةً, a means, a money towards what? Any money to anyone, تبتغي به وجه الله, where you're doing it for the sake of Allah, your intention is for Allah's sake, إلا أجرت عليها, except you will be rewarded by Allah for it. The Prophet then said, حتى ما تجعل في في امرأتك, even the food that you place in the mouth of your wife, you take a spoon and you do this for the sake of Allah. Ya Rabb, I'm doing it for your sake, and you place it in your wife's mouth, you get rewarded for that, your intention. So that hadith it narrates, it shows that.